are so back. All right, so I was trying to way back machine this article, and you can't do it. You cannot save. Meta says fact checkers were the problem. Fact checkers rule that false in the way back machine. It gives you errors. You are not allowed to read this article. Unless you pay the New York Times for it. But it's okay because we're going to talk about it here because this thing has developed over the last week and it is utterly hilarious how they're still they have now turned to censoring Facebook from outside sources so that you don't know that we are so back on this one. So in case you're not aware, Zuck the Cuck, Mark Zuckerberg, has started repealing his rules on Facebook about calling the trannies and the gays mentally ill. He is taking a page out of Jack Dorsey's book. Now look, he's an absolute beta bitch who absolutely lies about everything and does whatever he can to make money where he can. Zuck's the exact same way. So don't think I'm calling Mark Zuckerberg based. He's just trying to survive the next 4 years of Trump. That is exactly what he's doing. That's why he showed up on Joe Rogan and was talking about it. That's why he's putting out all this information about how bad the Biden officials were. And I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that all this is absolutely true and that he is not lying about any of this. But I do feel he's lying about why he's doing this. Like I've said with any of the grifters who delete tens of thousands of tweets or overnight flip to being conservatives, they know where the money is, they know the tide's changing slowly, and they're trying to ride the bandwagon so they don't lose their damn money. But I promise you, the next 4 years are going to be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So, yes, Mark Zuckerberg is on his air quotes, air quotes here, not saying he's actually doing it, his red pill journey to freedom of speech. And just the same way they attacked Twitter, which is still garbage. It still has a lot of issues. Elon's not completely free speech. It's been that way since he's took it over. He says it's free speech, and then they censor a ton of shit. And he uses the same leftist commie rhetoric BS. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of promotion or freedom of consequences. It's the same commie gobbledygook, but Zuckerberg's kind of, I feel like, going to be doing the same thing. But multiple articles here. We're going to go over NBC News because they're the ones I can actually read. Since the Wayback Machine doesn't want you to read articles about the fact checkers. But like this one, how NBC is coping, seething, and molding. They are absolutely sneezing at this. How Zuckerberg's fact-checking rollback could usher in a new chaotic era for social media. Again, the same thing they said about when Elon bought Twitter, how it was gonna fail in less than a year, how it was all gonna be downhill, how nobody is gonna be using Twitter, it's gonna be a fail, and now advertisers are crawling back to Twitter, begging to put their advertisements on, including Disney. Even after Elon called out everybody by name, Bob Iger by name, saying fuck you and hi Bob, they're going to do the same thing to Facebook and Meta and try and say, no, this system's totally gonna fail now. Now, if you're not familiar with me or you're new to the channel or I haven't mentioned it before and you don't know, I am a network engineer and some of the people I work with are companies like this and their infrastructure and dealing with that. So yes, this is a massive company. And a lot of them are absolute morons. But anyway, this isn't failing anytime soon. Zuckerberg would have to sell off all his infrastructure and rely on other companies and he'd still make a profit. Let's be completely honest. Facebook, Meta, Instagram, all of it would still make a profit even if he sold everything off and only kept the name. It would still make money for him. So him going broke is absolutely out of the question on this. But Zuckerberg, who once touted the importance of the company's moderation efforts, echoed that worldview Tuesday when he said that times had changed and the shift would reduce censorship and restore free speech. Again, scared to death of what Trump is going to do to him. And look, I make jokes about Trump being the God Emperor. I like a lot of things Trump has done. I dislike a lot of things Trump has done. I think it's funny that they are all panicking and shitting their overflowing diapers, scared of what Trump's gonna do because he doesn't have to worry about re-election now. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants, and he's already made bad picks. So I highly doubt they have a reason to be this scared. But it's funny to see them this scared. But he goes on, the fact checking program was never going to save Facebook, but it was the last bulwark to complete chaos on the platform, said Nina Jankowicz. Former head of disinformation board within the Department of Homeland Security. Again, the government was working with companies to suppress freedom of speech because they couldn't do it themselves. But if they had a buffer and could pretend there wasn't really a buffer, then they couldn't be held liable. Mark, release all the documents out. Let us sue the government for every time they have kicked somebody off of their platform for suppressing freedom of speech on the government's behalf. That makes you a government actor. Let us sue the government. Release the documents. But they go on to say who now helms a nonprofit organization. Oh, so she's totally making millions of dollars off of this and is probably funded by the government. Okay, that's totally not sketchy. And now Mark Zuckerberg is choosing chaos. Ooh, the big scary chaos. You know what? Freedom is chaos. Freedom is scary. And you say you're equal to man. All you strong women in positions of power, you're equal to men. Men aren't scared of free speech, you stupid twat waffle. But along with getting rid of fact checkers, Meta will remove restrictions around topics that have fueled recent political culture wars, including immigration, issues around transgender people, announcing policies on Fox News that Meta's chief global affairs officer Joel Kaplan said the company has been too restrictive. Absolutely agree. A close reading of Meta's updated policy guidelines reveals that Meta now explicitly allows users to call each other mentally ill based on their gender identity or sexual orientation, among other changes. Absolute win. Absolute win. But this was 2 years after Zuckerberg being hounded by the Weaponization Committee, Jankowicz said, referring to the House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan's select subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government. Good job, Jim. You put the screws to him, and it took a little while, but we had to get rid of the Biden admin and reinstate Trump for his second term, 45-47. One of the latest tools in the Republican to institutionalize their complaints around social media and political bias. Facebook launched its fact-checking program back in 2016. Again, what happened in 2016? Trump won. Following criticisms that it had facilitated the spread of so-called fake news. Yeah, NBC, you are the fake news. CNN, you are the fake news. Like many other tech platforms had grown quickly in the past decade, blah, blah, okay, I don't care about any of this. But Zuckerberg wrote in 2016, we take misinformation seriously. And look, I had a Facebook. I quit using it probably around 2017, 2018, with the exception of going on to throw stuff on the marketplace because it's really easy to sell stuff I don't use anymore or I need to clear out space. It's really easy to throw it up there. But I quit using it because I was getting... Okay, so several reasons. One, I don't think I've told anybody this. I started my own little independent news organization on Facebook, and I had something like 15,000 followers, and it got deleted overnight. Completely gone. Didn't tell me why I didn't do anything. I've had posts deleted about talking positively about things Trump had done, talking negatively about Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, any of them, any single one. Anytime it got deleted. So regardless of what Zuckerberg's doing, I'm not going back to Facebook. Fuck that place. But hopefully the boomers who are still on Facebook can start posting their memes again, at least in the US. Look, I know the UK is completely Euro-cucked, And if they post anything the government doesn't approve of, like they talk about the big thing about the forcible, you know, fuck it. If they talk about the rape gangs being a real thing, how the cops show up and arrest them, how they arrested a victim of rape and let the rapist walk free because they're an immigrant, yeah, Europe is completely fucking cucked. But at least in America now we can talk about it, and we're not going to be censored. And I know it's going to take time before the fact checkers accept their reality, before the censors accept their reality, but and it's going to take a lot of time. So I will give them that. You guys will probably still get some issues and pushback from censorship, at least until all this is dealt with. And it might even just happen in the background and they ignore you and say, fuck the rules, we're banning you anyway. What are you going to do about it? Because they're all beta cucks doing this in the background. They've done it for, what, 8 years now? They don't care. They're still going to do it. But I would love to hear everybody's thoughts in the comments section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. And until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.